What's up, Mixed Reactions? It's Tuesday, October 28th, 2025. It's me and two of my fellow co-hosts. Nick is out today. I'm with Justin and Casey. How are you doing today, Justin?
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. What about you, Casey?
Oh, just chilling, living the dream. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Good deal. I wanted to cycle around that way just because I know Justin he had a lot to say about his Patriots. You guys obviously beat the dog shit out of the Browns despite Myles Garrett getting 5 sacks. To the victors go the spoils, and Casey and Nick's team got their shit pushed in, and my team didn't play. So I'm going to let you have the floor here.
So I actually my soliloquy to open this episode of Mixed Reactions has absolutely nothing to do with the Patriots, believe it or not. Um, the premise of the moniker of this show on many a night, almost every night, is "fuck Philly." Can we agree? Yes or no?
Always, always, always.
Not even the nights on this show.
Just generally
365
speaking,
days.
fuck Philly.
Yeah.
Um, Two things happened, and Philly is involved, and inexcusable. The tush push must
Mm,
be banned
that was
for
bullshit.
reasons for exemplary reasons that were exhibited in on the national stage on Sunday.
It's impossible to officiate.
That's the problem. And there's your problem right from the start. If you can't officiate it, you should not allow it. You cannot allow it to exist in the game. There's a difference between a quarterback sneak and a tush push. A big
Yes.
difference. Jalen Hurts was pushing the ball forward to gain the line to gain in that 4th and 1 rush, tush push run. The ball was stripped from him by Thibodeau of the Giants. A
100%.
clean strip of the ball by
And a
Thibodeau
clear recovery.
and a full recovery. A late whistle gives him, quote, forward progress.
Very late whistle, I might add, with that whistle there with Thibodeau.
If the NFL referee committee or whatever the governing bodies of the referees cannot justify and equally referee that play,
Hmm.
it cannot be allowed. Secondly, in this game, I first and foremost want to wish Cam Scatabo a quick recovery because that injury was god awful. It was shades of Tyreek, if not worse. That was a clear
Hip drop
hip
tackle.
drop tackle.
Yes, it was.
If you are going to ban hip drop tackling, you better freaking call the play, call the penalty. Didn't do it.
It's
I know you're in the
oh,
heat of the moment of Cam Scatabo getting injured. I understand that. I get that. But if you're not going to call the penalties, which you banned from the league this year, which means you're supposed to be making a concerted effort to call the penalty, you must call the penalty.
correct. And
And I'm
that's a
not
very
saying this
valid
is a
point.
Giants fan because I am damn well not. And I'm not even saying this is a Philly hater because, well, I maybe, I'm not.
No, and you make a valid point, especially in these type of situations, because let's take it back to the tush push for a minute. A, they full start on about, I'd say, 85% of those tush pushes.
95 minimum.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very almost impossible play to officiate. And you're right, Justin. If you can't officiate the play, it shouldn't be allowed to be run because you don't know. A, because this is not the first time either that Jalen Hurts has quote unquote fumbled while performing the tush push. The same exact thing happened to him against Kansas City. Everyone likes to say Kansas City gets all these favorable calls. Again, it was a clear fumble and a clear recovery against Kansas City, but they ruled forward progress had stopped. And so it's one of these plays where they almost fear not giving the call to Philly for some reason. That's how it feels to me, anyways,
Mm-hmm.
because there could be some, I don't want to, not repercussions, but it just seems like that play, no matter what happens, is going to favor them because they
Backlash, maybe, if you want to call it that.
backlash is a good way to word it too, because They don't know where to mark it. They don't know when forward progress is stopped. They don't know if he fumbles or not. And every time, it's so far at the very least, it's ruled in the favor of Philadelphia. Of course, it was very close to getting banned this past offseason. Got saved by a couple votes. I
Two or
can't
three,
force.
maybe. I think this is
I,
the death knell.
it
This
has
should
to
be.
be.
It should
It
be.
has to be. There's so much negative attitude about the tush push as of now, and Philly just keeps running it, of course. And obviously, they're just playing the rules to their advantage. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong apparently with what they're doing in the moment. It seems Bush League. I feel it's Bush League, but there's no way to really stop it. A team really hasn't figured that out quite yet. I don't know if they're going to or not, but I do believe this will be the last year of the tush push, though.
I mean,
I don't.
you have to think that even
mm,
as a football purist, forget even if you're a Philly fan, you have to feel that this is a Bush League play.
It's not fun to watch. It's not appealing to watch.
No.
It goes in that gray area, but I don't see it. I could definitely see it being outlawed. And then going back to, I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau said it first, like that's some bullshit. The fact that they ruled it number one forward progress on that play, like you said, he was reaching his arm forward. It was a late whistle. The hip drop tackle. I mean, now Scatabo is out for the year, and now I feel kind of bad about those. He's gonna have the greatest 6 week career ever. Wishes to him, but yeah, no, and I know Casey, you're saying it objectively. I didn't take it as you being a Philly hater at all. I mean, just blatant instances of. I mean, it was a 7-7 game beginning of the second quarter when that happened. Obviously, Philly went to blow them out, but that definitely changed the momentum. I mean, they would have had the ball. I mean, they was around what midfield. Or no, sorry, they wasn't around midfield. They were at the the
Was it 30
10.
or 40? I thought it was some they were
They,
somewhere. But
they
it
were
doesn't really
past
matter where
midfield. They
it
were
doesn't
past
matter
midfield.
where
Yeah,
it is on the field,
right,
period.
right. hmm
No, it doesn't.
But
It does not matter where it was on the field.
and I had to
It's
look
one of
back at
those.
the I had to look back at the Tyreek injury because I thought that was another hip drop tackle. It wasn't. But this is a clear example of, I mean, going into this year, I didn't know what a hip drop tackle was. I honestly didn't. But this is a clear example of why it was banned. I understand why it was banned.
The
But you need
reason
to
that it
watch it.
originally got banned was the divisional game between the Cowboys and the 49ers a couple years ago when a hip drop tackle tore the ACL of Tony Pollard.
But again, it just goes back to the same premise. If you can't officiate it, don't ban it or don't call it.
100%. And
Or
I
vice
don't,
versa
I
in
don't,
this case.
I, I'm not one of these people that's like a sports conspiracist. I try not to be because it does take the joy out of the game. It does take the love
Mhm.
out of it when you think of it like that. But I don't even want to say it like this, but it does feel like Philadelphia is always getting these favorable calls. They're not getting calls against them. There was a lot more than that push and the hip drop tackle in that game. That beautiful throw from Jackson Dart to Darius Slayton was a pass interference on the Eagles, and they called offensive pass interference on Slayton and
Because
took
he
away a
grabbed his
touchdown.
hand. Oh, God help him. Oh, bless his heart.
He was getting his jersey tugged.
I know, exactly. Exactly. For they called Slayton for a hand check, which was nothing.
While he was getting his jersey tugged.
Exactly. That was almost as bad as, I mean, if not as bad, if not worse than the Stephon Diggs PIs that were called against him a few weeks back.
I think this was way worse, to be
I
honest.
mean,
Nothing against Diggs, but
if not worse.
yeah, no, I fully agree. Right now it seems like Philadelphia is really on the favorites edge is the best way to word it, where they're getting these favorable calls. Anything that could be going 50-50 is automatically, it seems like anyways, we could just have blinders on and being hateful, so that's very possible too. But it seems like a lot of these 50-50 calls are going right to Philly's way every time.
I'm going to say this as a complete joke, but maybe they just used the promo code Chauncey Billups before they walked out.
Man.
Clippers fans were
That's
chanting FBI at him, or at the Blazers.
Of course they were. Man, this was a very, very crazy week in sports. And to be quite honest, guys, a terrible weekend in sports for your boy. I mean, I can't say one positive thing about this week in sports for me, man.
Last night,
Obviously,
maybe Only
Uh, oh wow, the Celtics they got the first win of the season over the Pelicans. What we freaking do?
that's why I said
So
it maybe.
to this mixed reactions crowd, here's how Casey's weekend went for sports. Friday night starts off. Maine loses to unranked Colgate at home 3-2. The Celtics lose to the Knicks. And Casey loses a 7-game win streak in duos. Madden loses in the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
No biggie, Sat. We're here. We're chilling. Saturday, sure, Maine gets that recovery win 3-2. So, okay, maybe it's starting to turn around. Sunday comes, guys. Casey loses every parlay. Philadelphia wins. Celtics lose to the Pistons. And what I really want to dive into really quickly here is the Cowboys
get the shit pushed in.
absolute
You told me that was a
by-
terrible bet.
And so here's the thing, and I've been saying it for weeks. Dallas can't string together 2 positive games in a row. And if their offense is not perfect, they're going to lose. This defense is that bad. Their offense has to be perfect in order for them to win a game. And you're not going to be perfect every week. It's impossible. You can't say, hey, Dak, you have to go out and throw 400 yards, 3 touchdowns every single week. You can't say, hey, Javonte Williams, you're going to run for over 100 yards every week. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, you need 100 yards receiving both every week. Jake Ferguson, you need a touchdown every week. It's not a realistic possibility. I don't care how talented they are. I don't care how well coached they are in offense. You're going to struggle some weeks, especially when you face a good defense like Denver, especially in that type of environment when they always struggle against Denver regardless. I knew this game was going to be bad. I knew it right from the get-go. I said after Denver's second drive, actually after Dallas's second drive, I knew the game was over. And here's why. Denver's first drive, interception by Dallas. That was awesome. That was great, right? Dallas drives right down the field, gets to the 1, stutters. Cool, right? That happens. Take their 3. Denver right down the field. Touchdown, about 5 plays, ran for a 40-yard touchdown. Next possession for Dallas, 3 and out, ending with a sack. I knew it was over then. This defense cannot hold. You cannot fall behind multiple scores with this defense. You have to be aggressive. And I love what Schottenheimer has done on the offensive side of the ball for a first-year head coach. But you cannot be punting in the fourth quarter down a score down 2 scores, my apologies, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter when it's a 4th and 1. I don't care where you are on the field. Your offense is talented enough. Run a tush push if you have to with Dak Prescott. You cannot be punting on a 4th and 1 down 2 scores on the road with the worst defense in NFL history. I did not agree with that call then. I don't agree with it now. Dallas from this point going forward for the rest of the season, if it's 4th and 3 or less, they should be going for it 100% of the time. Do either of you disagree with that?
I don't, and they proceed right after they punt the ball to go 12 plays, 84 yards, and then make it a 20-point game and put it out of reach. So no, I say you're in this situation. Your defense can't stop fucking nosebleed. Go for it. I mean, it was 4th and 6 when they punted the balls at the 44-yard line. Why are you punting? You're down by 2 scores.
Yeah, unless you're ahead, you go for the 4th down.
Yeah,
if it's a 6-point game, I get it, but you're in desperation time at this point, and your defense has been that bad. Like I said, they allowed them to go 84 yards and score a touchdown. I get you, and then also what you were saying too about the offense can't be perfect. Even if it's slightly, the play calling is going to get more predictable when you're down because there's only so many whether it's whether you have to go for it or whatever. It's going to become more predictable. And their offense is just amazing to watch, man. Dak is great, but their defense.
But it can't be.
It was.
You can't. Here's the thing. You're right. Their offense is super great. It's super talented. You can't ask them to score every drive. It's not a possibility.
And then right after that, and then they go and throw a pick, and then Denver goes down and scores again. So
yeah, which I get the interception aspect of it because you're in hurry up mode. You're just going. You rush things. I get that. I don't even really put that on Dak. I don't even put the first pick on Dak in that game. Yeah, he threw it into double coverage, but there's 18 seconds left in the half. He was just trying to make a play. It's not like he made a bad read and got worked. He was just trying to rush the play. I get it. But my thought on this is they need something to change on defense. And it's got to be Matt Eberflus, guys. He has to go. Nothing has gotten better. Like, yeah, sure.
Jerry was saying that it's not going to just take one player, adding one player on defense to change it over. It's going to have to take an overhaul of some sort.
I don't even disagree with that, but I do feel like I'm not saying one player would make a huge difference. Don't get me wrong, but if they made the right trade, it could help to get one extra stop a game. And sometimes with that type of offense, that's all they may need.
Who do they have coming up next?
They got Arizona on Monday night.
Uh-oh, is my boy playing?
Battlefield 6 came out. Who knows?
Oh, man, it's just rough, man. I was actually going to put money on Dallas to win the Super Bowl, man.
I don't know where I'm going in that pick segment, but I will also say they haven't lost 2 in a row all year either. So
I'll quickly touch on my Patriots before we get to the Rams, only because we need to have some positivity in this podcast for a little bit.
Hey, we had a bye. Don't act like we didn't just blow Jacksonville out.
I say we don't need to talk about the Rams, but they had a bye.
That's true. Drake May continued his MVP campaign. I will say it. I think he should be top 2 right now. That'd be my overreaction for the week. That Drake May should be a top 2 MVP candidate right now, along with Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor needs way more consideration for MVP.
He does. I mean, there hasn't been an MVP in the league since Adrian, running back, a non-quarterback since Adrian Peterson. You need to consider it.
Was that like 2010, probably something like that?
Somewhere in that nature.
2012.
Adrian Peterson, I think it was. But either way, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is on pace to blow LaDainian Tomlinson's touchdown record out of the water. Blow it out of the water.
He's on a different level right now.
That line, too, man.
Justin, your point about Drake May considered being top 2, I'm calling it a slight overreaction, and I want to give you my analysis real quickly of that Patriots game as someone who's not a fan. I didn't watch it from a fan's point of view of New England, right? So, and I want you to tell me if this is fair or out of bounds.
Fair enough.
So, the way that I viewed that game personally, obviously, like you said, New England struggled on Cleveland's opening drive. That just their weakness on defense enough.
Told you they would.
After that, it seemed like the Cleveland Browns offense is inept as the Dallas Cowboys defense. And so my thought process on that, of course, when I was watching it was if Cleveland even had a average to even slightly below average offense, that would have been a 1-score game.
No, not even close. Not even close. Out of bounds. Completely out of bounds.
Can you say why? Because Cleveland couldn't move the ball after that. And
because
so
New England's defense, if you've looked over the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks, they sleep for the first drive and have 2 drives. And then they are completely shut down. Completely shut down.
Okay.
Over the last, I want to say 6 games, maybe more than that, they have outscored opponents by over 70 points in the third quarter alone.
That's extremely impressive.
So while their first half defensive struggles have been there, and I'm not dismissing them, come after the first or second drive of the game, that defense is elite. Now they're not getting to the quarterback in the sense of building the sack counter, but that secondary it's nails. You're not going to throw on Christian Gonzalez and get away with it. Now, the one thing I will say about the Patriots defense that it bothers me to no end, and it's a thing, it's a very soft middle defense over the middle. The ends, you're not going to hit a home run shot on them. You're never going to hit a home run shot on them once they're in their groove. You're not going to. But they have a very soft middle of the field. So I think they need to make an upgraded middle linebacker. That's my opinion. They should try to look into at the trade deadline, or think about getting somebody like Jerome Ford from Cleveland, who they just met up with this last weekend, to have that third stringer to spell Ronnie Stevenson and Travion Henderson. They do need a third back. But Drake May is going through this season as probably one of the most efficient quarterbacks seasons ever.
He's absolutely.
Almost 80% of his passes.
Do you consider yourself a what's the word I'm looking for? A based Patriots fan, like I do, for a sense. I think you're pretty based. I think you're pretty logical in situations. But as we're in this moment, your team is
riding a high. I won't deny that I'm riding a high. But okay. I also know where the flaws are, and I'm not going to dismiss them because.
Well, let me ask you this then, because we got plenty of time for this first segment ends. So I want to run down a list of AFC teams, and I want you to tell me not nervous, a little nervous, or scared.
Okay.
Of these teams.
Based on how they're playing now, I'm assuming, correct?
Based on what you expect them to be.
Okay, fair enough.
The Chargers.
Not scared at all.
The Steelers.
Not scared at all.
The Ravens.
Not scared unless Lamar is back up to 100%. So with a little trepidation based on past history.
The Broncos.
Not really scared.
The Colts.
A little nervous, but the one I would say about that is the Patriots have one of the best run defenses in the league. So that's what makes pass defense. We'll chew Daniel Jones alive, but I'm not. I'm a little. Jonathan Taylor is a legitimate MVP candidate.
Oh, yeah.
I would be a little nervous about the Colts if we had to go to Indy for that game.
The Texans.
Not nervous at all.
The Chiefs.
A little nervous based on recent play. But no team scares me to death right now.
They shouldn't. You guys are riding high. They shouldn't scare you that much right now.
Especially with
the only two teams right now in the AFC that I would have some real nerves about are Kansas City and Indianapolis.
Not Buffalo?
I got to see Buffalo get a game against a decent opponent. They got to face Kansas City in a couple weeks. So we'll see when it comes.
Kansas City on Sunday.
Oh, is it KC this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Okay, we'll see.
Sunday night.
We'll see what happens after this weekend, and then I'll lay judgment on Buffalo. I'm not worried about Atlanta. I'm not worried about Tampa either.
The reason I asked you that is because I marked down my top teams in the AFC, and I put them in order of how prevalent I think they are in the AFC. Right now, I have New England at 2.
That's fair.
I got Kansas. I know you're ahead of Kansas City in the 10s. I have Kansas City at 1, and it's just because of history. Like they've been there, done it. You know, the Chiefs are almost like the Patriots of yesteryear. You know, they're the team that's been there and done that every step of the way. Mm-hmm. So they are Kansas City right now. To me, would be the only team in the AFC that I would pick to go into Gillette to beat New England in like an AFC Championship game.
Fair. That's fair. That's the one. If I do not want to go against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Period.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you there.
But I wouldn't want to go on the road to Indy right now.
No, not right now. I agree with you 100%. But I feel like you guys should go into Indy and win a playoff game. I really do.
We could. I mean, we just went on a 3 or 4 game streak on the road and had no problem.
Yeah, no, I think you guys are on the up and up. And the only thing that worries me about up and up teams, and it's so weird how this connection made in my head for this one. I was like, this so much reminds me of the 2018 Patriots and the 2018 Chiefs. How the 2018 Chiefs were on that up and up and up, but the 2018 Patriots were just that veteran-led team that never flinched, that never wavers. Because it could be a situation where New England's up 27, New England's up 27-24, 2 minutes left. but you guys give the ball to Patrick Mahomes, and I know for a fact you would be shitting bricks.
I would be shitting bricks at that
And
point.
also, you know what I think about the 2018 Patriots? You know, we proceeded to score 3 points in that Super Bowl.
I know. I watched it.
Yeah, and you know why? Justin and I had a conversation about this at our job a week before the Super Bowl. Him and I said the same exact thing. If New England takes away the play action pass, the Rams are cooked. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that game wasn't even. We didn't even look like it. Never felt we had a pick at the beginning. It never felt like we even had a chance to win the game, though. And
You
if I
did.
remember correctly, the biggest play was Edelman's like 50-yard catch or whatever it was.
No, it's just Todd Gurley was what, 60%? Like he was nowhere near 100%. So they couldn't get the run game going, which excluded the play action. So they weren't ready for anything.
That
And Goff, he was too young. He wasn't ready to be in that situation.
and that was our karma for having gotten away with one against the Saints. So to say the
Yeah.
least.
Now, before we hop off, to get how much time do we have left?
We got like
10,
12 minutes.
like 10 minutes.
Okay, good.
One thing I will
Justin-
say about the Patriots that I do have a concern about is how many hits Drake is taking, how many sacks he's been taking. Now, there's a difference between getting sacked because you're holding the ball for too long, or your offensive line is Swiss cheese. The offensive line is looking a lot better than it has been, but the sacks that Drake has been taking have not been bad sacks. So he's not doing anything dumb with the ball, which was what he was doing last year. But it's a concern level. It's a measure of concern for me.
While the offensive line is looking marginally better, and like you said last week, it's a middle of the road offensive line. They were trying to double team Myles Garrett last week and still stood no shot.
Myles Garrett is a beast on that defensive line, and that man needs a change of scenery, man, in the worst possible way. I'm not sure if this I saw this on Facebook. I don't know if it was real, but I think someone said that Myles Garrett looked to Vrabel and said, "Come get me out of here. I will take him in a heartbeat."
Yeah, you'd have to give up something substantial.
I don't care if it's a first and a third or a first and a second or next two firsts.
But before we get on to the next quick topic that I want to discuss, there's one extra concern in New England that I want to tailor off to.
Sure.
I like Ramondre Stevenson. I like TreVeyon Henderson. They're both too inconsistent for me for you guys right now to go on a deep playoff run because you need to be able to run the ball consistently.
Yep.
Ramondre fumbles too much, and TreVeyon's just not patient enough.
He's a rookie.
He's not patient, though. He tried to hit the hole 100 miles an hour. He doesn't wait for these blocks to develop like he needs to. But that's the only other concern offensively they had with New England is I don't think their run game is consistent enough right now. I'm not saying it won't get there, but to drive them deep in the playoffs. Now, Justin, again, and I don't know if you saw any of the games this weekend, Ian, so if you have, I want you to speak up too. 1 to 5, what's your concern level for Maine?
5 being like I'm hitting the panic button.
Yeah, I'm at a 4.
I'm at a 3.5 to a 4. Yeah.
This is one of the most undisciplined teams. I know they're young. Trust me, they're the youngest team in Hockey East. They are freshman upon freshman upon freshman. I get it, but it's not like these freshmen have never played hockey before. Like they know they're so undisciplined. They're out of their positions. They're not chasing to the pucks. They're not digging in hard.
They're looking out for number one the entire freaking game. They're not looking to each other as a team. They're looking at how am I going to pad my numbers?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. And Ben Barr needs to bite down, get in their ass, so to speak, and show this is a team effort. Because talent for talent, this is one of the best teams in the nation, one of the top teams in Hockey East. That's for damn sure. And if they play anywhere remotely like they did last week, they're getting dog walked by BU come this weekend.
They're not making the NCAA tournament if they keep playing this way.
No
not
chance.
Even close. Not even sniffing it.
No. My unfortunate prediction is they're going to get swept by BU this weekend and get knocked out of the rankings, unless something drastic changes.
They wouldn't get knocked out of the rankings, but they get knocked out of the top 20.
Yeah, 100% they would. And I know we had that conversation about Boya, but did you notice how many times they're leaving Boya out to dry for him to make a diving save on his own and then have to kick saves the rebound attempt. Like, what more can you ask Boya to do?
I, I think it goes on a couple. It goes to a couple levels. One, I think the draft picks that are coming in here are trying to become one and dones. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
And I think there's a lack of accountability and discipline amongst the captains and veterans that are on the team because they're. I don't know if they were ready to step in this leadership role. I mean, shit.
Well,
Thomas Friel on one of the intermission interviews said, "We're not playing. We just kind of suck. We're not playing good hockey.
they're not playing team hockey.
They're not." And it's disappointing because looking at the draft class, I was thinking, shoot, let buy tickets to Vegas.
Well, there was a reason they were what top 6 when the polls first came out. Like
Yeah.
they are extremely talented, but they're not playing collective team hockey.
No,
And
they're
that
playing
needs to
Paul
change.
Hawk. They're puck hawking and playing for number one. That's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
100%. I
Yeah.
can't disagree with a word you just said.
Yesterday I mistakenly called the group before game one of the World Series. Justin was the only one that answered. And he said puck hawking. I hadn't heard that term, but yeah, no, I didn't realize because in the NBA that's kind of how the American style is. They're looking out for number one ISO ball. In Europe, it's like team ball. In hockey, is it more so like Canada or those like the flashy guys? I'm
Yeah,
asking just out of curiosity. Okay.
the Canadian
Yeah,
hockey teams typically are the heavy scoring, like fancy schmancy, kind of like just making it like flashy. They're really flashy scorers.
Like, ooh yeah. Ooh yeah.
which I hate to say it because I don't want to diminish college hockey, but that's not the place where college hockey is such a team oriented game. That's why Maine, look at Maine last year. They had one draft pick on the team, and they were one of the best teams in the nation. They weren't that talented, but they played collectively as a unit.
I think most, and this is kind of not really get too far off the subject, but most college sports is a team game because you look at college basketball, a lot of the one and done teams flame out in March Madness.
Look at
You it,
Kentucky every year when they had John Calipari.
every single year. I remember Kentucky, 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 Kentucky. I just picked them the whole way
And
through, but the guys aren't good enough to. Well, you're not talented enough to survive on talent alone. What's the saying that you like? Just
Gentlemen, you aren't talented enough to win on talent alone.
there you go.
and again, there is one thing to keep in perspective, and it is a thing we have to keep in perspective when it comes to this Maine hockey team. Over half the team are 18 and 17-year-old.
Yes, they
Damn.
are.
They're kids.
And that's one thing that I hope can change over the course of the year. They'll grow up. They'll
They
age.
have
They'll
to
develop.
mature quickly because
Yeah.
league play. Here we go.
Yeah, no, this is where the big boys come in for sure. It's going to be, oh man, I want to go to a game so bad this weekend. It is going to be rowdy in there this weekend.
Man, I want to go to a game. They love their hockey there, man. Every single day in that group, somebody is posting something like, "Why don't you guys cheer with the student section? Why don't you march for the
Speaking,
kids?"
a shout out to Maine Black Bear
Yeah,
hockey.
for real.
Bradley Nadeau made his NHL debut tonight with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I was actually just watching that. Yeah, I
Wait,
had the
I thought he made his debut last year.
Nope.
Oh well, he suited up, but he never actually got in the game. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh, nice. Shout out to
Uh,
Bradley. To know, hopefully his brother joins him.
before Josh won't know. Josh isn't good
You don't think so?
enough. No,
He'll be
no,
in
no.
the AHL. He'll be in the AHL after work his way up.
Yeah, 100%. Mixed reactions fans. This might be crazy for you guys to hear. For all 20 of you that ever listen, I'm not going back on my word on this one. I'm just going to come out and say it now. I was wrong about my NBA Finals prediction. I'm out on the Celtics this year. I'm done. I'm over it.
Take
the
the
Celtics
hat
are not-
off.
I'm still a fan, but I don't believe in them this year. And so you won't hear any Celtic rants from Casey this NBA season.
Until
And-
Jason Tatum returns.
Maybe at that point. But until then, there will be no Celtic rants from Casey on this show. I don't believe in them.
Just cowboy rants until about January.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. Yeah.
All right, well, pick two, or sorry, segment two, our pick segment is always the best segment. Believe we have a special guest picker coming on. You guys have seen him before, so second part we're gonna bring him on. Any last words from you guys or either one of your alternate identities, Tally or
Fuck
Mark?
Philly.
I need another drink.
Part two coming up. Don't miss it. Everybody but Chris, keep your pants on. Hmm. Come on, Jesse.